you're live, and welcome to the Off the Track Monday with my guest Rainer from Northern Ontario. Welcome, Rainer. Welcome to the chat. And let's see who we got in this chat today. Of course, we got Mike H.O. Trains. We got Delp Junction
Thanks.
Pete. Welcome. Mr. Hot Dog Pilot Andy. Mr. Wigwag Workshop. Welcome, sir. I did see... who else we have? I know John from the Skillware Valley was in the chat. Welcome, John. Ronald Rondeau was in the chat. Welcome, sir. Todd Armstrong, Trackside Action. Welcome, sir. I did see Brian Ferguson in the chat. Mark M.M. Wales was here earlier. Welcome, sir. Who else we have? I think John Knuffle is in the chat. Welcome, John. And of course, our good buddy Sparky 107 is in the chat. Welcome, Mr. Sparky. Who else? Maybe what else we got in here? So let's welcome Mr. Rainer to our program. I asked him last week he wanted to join us, and he's been doing some great videos on painting and install decoders in older locomotive. But he posted a new video today on how to put a decoder into an Atlas yellow box locomotive.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to get some videos up on a regular basis. I kind of stopped putting up videos for the summer because I was on a 7-week vacation with my wife going out west and back after I retired. So now I have lots of time.
Oh, yeah. And John Garvin's in it. Welcome, John. Thomas Grassi, welcome, sir. And now I also want to share to everybody here, especially to my good friend Andy, because he's in the UK. As you all know, we traveled to Newfoundland in July for a music festival, and it was the Welsh ladies chorus. Well, there's also a men's chorus too, and the men came with us. Well, one of my travel companions, John Barrow, which was born in Wales, he developed cancer suddenly last week out of the blue, and I'm sad to say he passed away on Sunday afternoon. So a lot of our friends in the choir are quite upset of losing him, because I was chatting with him 3 months ago, and I was thinking about him on the weekend because Sparky has a Wales flag hanging in his train room, and during that time he left this world. So I wanted to just share a loss of a good friend of mine. Hey, Ray Burnelson, welcome, sir. And Wesley, welcome, sir. Yeah, so you went out west for 7 weeks. That's a good big long trip. Dave Scott went too for I think he went for 3 weeks.
Yeah, he went. I think he headed out just as kind of we got back.
Okay.
I ended up retiring in mid-July, and then we headed out. It was actually 7.5 weeks, but we spent the last week or so at my daughter's place up in the Sioux.
Okay.
So, yeah, we drove all the way to the west coast to Vancouver and then down into the U.S. and then worked our way back east across the U.S. So 5 provinces, 8 states.
The last time we went out west, we flew out to Calgary because we took the Rocky Mountaineers to the mountains, and
that would be cool.
And then we went there before for our honeymoons too. Well, thanks, John. I appreciate it. So yeah, we went out for a honeymoon too, and we flew into I forget it was Calgary somewhere. I forget where we went, but we flew in. We rented a car, and we traveled all the way around Alberta into British Columbia, across the island all the way to a place called Telegraph Cove and back. And we were going to go to Revelstoke at the time, but during that period of time, it was so much rain that year, not forest fires. They closed the highways to Revelstoke. Okay, Mark wants postcards from each province.
Oh, that's a little late for me since I'm all the way already back, but yeah.
And so, yeah, well, you can go online and order them for them.
Yeah, there. You're talking about that shelf over there. I saw that. You're talking about my paint storage. So I just
Yeah, that was pretty impressive too. Doing that, I like creating storage in the training room to keep things organized.
Yeah, well, I realized that the problem is that this room is kind of my storage room for a lot of stuff, and then I built my layout on top. But I ended up with just heaps of boxes and stuff underneath. And when you're trying to find anything, well, you can't find it when it's hidden in boxes. So
welcome, Bob. So to
yeah.
the chat. Yeah. So I don't know how big your layout is. My layout is approximately 22 feet by 12 feet, 13 feet.
I'm in an 8x16 room. So
you're a bit shorter and narrower than mine.
Yeah, I've that's why I've shoehorned it in here. I've got the helix in one corner and I've got the two decks, and then the door is right there, and I've got my desk set up here. And so my desk is set up underneath the duck under goes across the doorway and across above my desk. So
I'm impressed with your helix, because I thought of a helix in this layout room originally, but I would need almost 6 feet of space. And I don't know if I could justify the space at the time. And I didn't. Do I want that complication of 2 levels? No, I didn't. At the time, I didn't want it. And I'm glad I did. And I like the layout. Just what I have, just perfect for me to handle on my own. Oh, that's cool, Bubs. Hey, Mr. Dwight Curley, welcome. Yeah, so that's the thing. I decided to keep my layout way. Now, Jason, the train freak, helped me design the layout, the track plan. Because I had lots of obstacles in the way because of turns, corners.
Yeah.
It made it hard to get a big straight out because I had to box around things.
Yeah, for me, I just I've got a lot tighter radius, so my helix is a 22-inch radius.
That is tight.
Yeah, it's tight, but I don't run anything. I have a few longer passenger cars, but all my freight cars and everything are shorter. My largest locomotives are a couple of SD40s.
Okay.
So I don't go anything bigger than that in here.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing primarily all old ACR stuff. By sticking to that, I can run on those tight curves.
My radius minimum, I think, is 28.
Yeah, 22 is my minimum. I've got it wider than that in other places, but the helix is 22 because it takes up a huge amount of space as it is.
Is your helix one track in, one track out?
It's just one loop all the way around. Okay. It's 2 helixes stacked on top of each other though, because there's a double ring going around to my lower staging, which is just underneath there. Okay. And then so that I've got where my town is going to be. I've got like 2 loops that go down underneath to my lower staging, and then I've got it going up to the upper deck. Yeah. So,
see, I had a space up what I call the alcoves underneath our bay window of the house, and I didn't put any track in there because they would have to have really tight put in that space. Yeah. So I decided I'm going to make that a town scene. And once it's set up, it'll just be a scene to display, but it won't have any tracks. It'll have roadways. And but I was quite pleased, and I added the peninsula behind me here with my turntable. So that creates technically it's a Y, because I can come in, I can enter the turntable from one track, spin it around, and exit on another track. So it's like a bypass track on off the main line.
Yeah.
And off of that, I put a couple of spur lines for industry. on that area there. Now I was gonna do a staging track in the other room, but I decided with another lift gate of some sort, and the wiring complication, because you would have to control the turnouts from inside this area here. So that was another wiring adventure that I would have to deal with. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. So I eliminated it. Oh, thanks, Mark. That's one thing I can. When I'm wood, I can do with. I can create wood. I can wire. I just can't see the details no more. So I don't. That's why I don't do fine wiring no more, because I can't see it. But I wanted my benchwork to look like as close as I can to a piece of art, furniture. And so I created that way. I'm still not quite finished. I'm going to add another layer here of fascia that above the tracks. And
by the way, I don't know if you guys could hear the horn and train going by.
I hear it.
Yeah, the CP line is about 60 feet from me.
Oh, cool. Hey, Mr. Rail Riders, welcome. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody complains they got to stop for a train because it's crossing the wigwag. Says, go for it. Let it run. I'll stop there. And
it rattles my windows.
I don't
It rattles my windows.
Yeah, Sparky heard you.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with trains.
Yeah, it's right there, and the little Alliston rail yard is on the other side of the tracks, right from me. It's just like a shop. There's no sidings.
Hey, Rob, welcome. We went up 2 years ago to Sudbury.
Yep.
Bob wants to know what sub runs by your house.
It's I don't know which one. It's the main CP freight that runs up and through Alliston. We've got like 15 trains a day that runs by here, so it's all freights.
That'd be camping out there.
Well, I just sit in my living room, look out the window.
There you go.
It's there.
Nothing wrong with that.
The locomotive in the middle of the train just went by. I could hear it whining.
Oh, I might bump you on the McTier. Okay. So yeah,
and then they generally stop because there's a Y going into the Honda plant here, and generally middle of the day or middle of the night when they're backing in their cars into the Honda plant, the locomotives stop right in my backyard and sit there idling for a few minutes, and then they back up. So
there's Chris. I guess he took a break from gambling in Vegas. The chat stop in the chat. Hey, Chris, welcome. No, 2 years ago, friends of ours, her sisters and their father live in Sudbury, and he was getting elderly in age, so we decided to go up and visit. So we shared the driving, and we stayed with their family while we're up there. And so it was a good trip, and there's lots of trains in Sudbury.
Yeah.
Long drive though, but we did it. Well, that's good. So if I head up to Barrie, I just got to veer a little bit to the west to hit Alliston, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, we're, I don't know, 15 minutes off the 400.
Okay, Bob says there is a small yard south of the Honda plant, but the track is 65-mile track speed. Okay.
Yeah, there's a small yard south of the Honda plant that's right on the other side of the tracks from my house.
Yeah, Dwight.
It's a work yard right in town. Yeah.
Yeah, Dwight. I looked for those 3 dots and I couldn't find how to get rid of the hearts. So I did look today. It's a mystery to me. So sorry. Hey, Grandpa Real, that said hi to you yet? Thank you, sir. Yeah, so it's a nice area up there. If you spin the circle a few times, you should see plenty of dots. Oh, okay. Dizziness. That's right.
So you can, if you go in the top corner, you can turn the reactions off for yourself so you don't see them.
Oh, but there is a way of getting rid of them so the people that are watching on YouTube on there.
Yeah.
I went into those 3 dots, Sparky, and I couldn't get rid of the hearts.
So I just did for me. I just went up there, and then it's the thing called reactions, and I went and top.
Okay, let me turn the volume down on this thing, and I'll look at it because I looked. There was 3 dots, and because I lost the server here. Because I didn't see. Yeah, look at my phone for the chat.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm looking at it on my computer. I have no idea what it's like on the phone.
Yeah, the phone's different, and I couldn't see it any. I looked in, so I give up. So I have to live with the
it's the bar at the top that says top chat. If you look over to the right hand side, at least on mine, I'm on a Mac, and there's 3 dots there. You click on that.
I wish I had a Mac. Well, I have my phone's an iPhone though, but I just couldn't see those dots on the on the thing because my phone's it's very picky. When you touch it, it goes nuts on me, so I don't. But I didn't see it. Live chat here. It's gonna. Yeah, I go to the top of the chat and I see settings.
Yeah, it's probably on the phone. It's different, probably.
Yeah, well, I couldn't find it anyhow. Amen, Mike. Okay, Thomas, and I haven't got YouTube open on the laptop. I use that StreamYard.
I've got both going here on mine because I've got multiple screens. So
don't worry, Chris. We're gonna save the snow for you anyhow. Don't worry about it. It's gonna go dump in Ottawa. Yeah, I guess so. And I don't have YouTube turned on my computer. It doesn't want to have the conflict of sounds. So I said, nope. But I went to visit Sparky on Saturday or Sunday. Saturday, I think it was. But I want to go watch trains in that stuff, Bubs. I'm waiting for it. I'm gonna order me a stool, and I got a winter coat, and I'm gonna park my butt Sunday. And I'm gonna park my butt near the tracks and film trains. Okay, Pete, we're not gonna have any white stuff. We're not allowed. We're not allowed to have it. I've been overruled by my good buddy Bob, so we're not allowed to have white stuff, Rainer.
Oh well,
you're farther north though.
It's still hot and humid here today, but I'll probably be seeing cold weather second week of October or something like that because I'm going to be heading way north of Nipigon, going on a moose hunting trip for 10 days. So,
there's lots of moose in Newfoundland if you want to go there.
Yeah, a buddy of mine just got killed. A friend of mine from work was killed by a moose a few years ago. Hit one with his motorcycle at night.
Yeah. Okay.
What a way to go.
No, it's not good at all. But yeah, there's lots of moose in Newfoundland.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
We've been there twice now in the 2 years in a row, and we hope to go back next year. This time we're driving this time. And we're going to go to Port aux Basques this time.
John Garvin, where are you, Snowbelt? He says, I'm in the Snowbelt, aka cottage country. Please no snow.
Well, I imagine he's up in the Muskoka area, I think.
Okay. See, where I grew up, North Sault Ste. Marie, we considered that the Snowbelt. And then I moved down here and I was like, they don't get snow here.
No. Well, weather's been changing drastically too, but
yeah. Well,
we didn't have too bad last year. But see, now that you're retired, I'm retired, I don't have to go anywhere if it's too much the white stuff on the ground. I can just park my butt in the train room. done.
Really in Washego, yeah. You get some crazy windy snow there. That's one of the things
Yeah.
I've noticed living in
Yeah.
southern Ontario is that you get the snow is different. Where I grew up north of the
Yeah.
Sioux, we used to get piles of snow, and it just used to pile up like crazy.
Yeah.
Down here, you get the whiteouts and crap like that.
Yeah. That's what we get down here. We get the cold weather.
Well, yeah, cold
We
is
had
relative
we
too.
had rain today.
I lived in Thunder Bay for 4 years back in the 80s, and we hit -40 a lot of times. So that's
Oh,
cold.
yes. Long drive Thunder Bay from
Yeah.
here. But it gets pretty nasty in Newfoundland too.
Yep.
You get the white stuff wet here, yeah. But it comes with the territory, I guess. But I know I don't have to go out, and I just gotta stay home. In fact, this might be our last year getting snow tires in the car because we don't have to go anywhere. My my parents and my wife's parents are all gone now, so we have to
Yep.
visit.
That's not part of life.
I don't visit my immediate family whatsoever, and everybody else lives that we want to see live in Dundas. So I can go out when the snow gets clear the street. I go out.
Yeah, Sparky, -52, but that dry cold, it's crazy. I'd rather be in -20 or -30 way up north where it's dry rather than in downtown Toronto in -5 or -10.
Last time I was in Winnipeg, we flew out to Vancouver, and the plane had a mechanical issue, so we were parked in Winnipeg for over 9 hours till they got the replacement part in the plane. So they did entertain us to a dinner somewhere while we waited. Then we flew out.
Yeah, John, between 89 and 88 can be unpredictable. No kidding. I
Mhm.
live right off 89 and get out there, and it gets pretty crazy sometimes. It
Yeah,
changes really fast.
yeah. But I'm looking for the adventure of checking out trains in the weather. So we'll see.
Uh, what was really fun is I remember riding on the ACR in the winter, going up north when I was a kid. My dad and we would go up ice fishing, and we would take the ACR up north and then snowshoe into a lake and camp out. And they'd leave the vestibule doors open, so you'd have snow blowing in between, and all the tourists taking pictures out hanging out of the cars.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun. You had to suck your head in though. Some of the ice hanging off the rock cuts came pretty close to the cars, but that was fun.
Not sure yet, Chris. I might run the two new ones I got from Sparky. But I remember when we went out, when we took the Rocky Mountaineer, they had an observation car at the rear end of the train. That's where I was.
Yeah.
They had an open door to the open wind, and that train went right through the Fraser Valley. You follow the Fraser River around.
Yeah.
And I remember we bought a new camera when we got married, and we bought it to go out west. Well, that camera decided to die out west on the second trip. But my wife had bought me a new digital camera, and I'm glad we had that. It was a backup because we lost all the film because the film curtain broke on it because it was a film camera back then.
Yep.
And so I still got the camera, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, I have all my cameras that I've ever had. I have a whole pile of them. Some of them I think they still work, but I haven't tried film in years. So
I'm a photographer as a hobbyist, but I trained under it. And before we moved, I collected camera. I had a wall filled with antique cameras, and I gave them all the way to a guy I met in London. Hey, Mr. Tim, CP360 Productions, welcome to the chat, sir. So I gave them all away because I didn't need them, and my digital camera, my big one, I'm gonna get it out eventually and try it on video, because I was always a still photographer.
Yep. What kind of camera do you have? Your digital?
5D Mark IV.
Okay.
Full
Yeah,
frame.
I have a couple of A7s here, Mark 1 and Mark 2. Actually, my webcam right there is a Sony A7.
Hey, Charlie, welcome. Park, that found something. Park, Parterick Hill Station.
And this camera right here that you're seeing right there is actually my Sony A7 Mark II that I use for photography and all kinds of stuff. But they make great video cameras.
Yeah, that's very clear. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I bought the 5D Mark IV. It was the brand new. It just came out. It was my retirement gift, my pension gift to myself. And but I got to the point where I wasn't printing pictures, and I had a top of the line printer for photos, but I wasn't using the printer enough, so it dried up.
Yeah.
And so it would cost me too much money to try and invest in new inks to see if it was going to work. And I tried to talk to Canon about what it costs to have things serviced. And it was more than what the printer costs. And even though it's a top of the line Canon photo printer. So when we moved, it went to the way the dodo bird. Gone. So, and I parked the camera because the camera at the time cost me over $5,000 just for the camera alone. Now counting everything else I have for it. I could buy a lot of trains with that kind of.
Yep.
But I'm going to get it back out and take stills. I'm going to set the tripod up on the track, and because I can control the lighting better with my SLR more than I can. My GoPro is doing a pretty good job, though. I'm quite impressed with that. It's all automatic. It's doing really good video. It's getting good sound. And I was talking. What's her name? I can't think of her name right now. One of my viewers. She does a lot of live premieres on the weekend.
Okay.
And she had told me about a feature on the GoPro that I didn't realize, and I found out with them. That was pretty good. So the GoPro does really good video. It's very impressive.
Yeah. I have one here. I use it for my overhead shots, but I've used it for all kinds of stuff when we were traveling. I use it for a dash cam when we're driving. I use it for a lot of things. Oh,
with Stormy Sky. Jenny.
Okay.
She gave me a few tips on the GoPro because they use the GoPro all the time when they're doing their filming.
Yeah.
So it gets really good video, and with the new powered pan head, I can park that tripod, I don't know, 10, 12 feet from the track, just outside in the safety zone. It's got a bit of a zoom, and I can control the pan head. I guess 10 feet away seems to be pretty good. So you're still out beyond. You can park the tripod, set it up, walk away because you can see the screen on your phone, and control the camera. So I was doing that with last week. So if the train's coming from the east, you point the camera at the approaching train. But then as it's leaving, you can pan the tail end of the train and catch it departing going west. So you get that transition of change, which I think was pretty impressive. A Bowser RS3 on hold. That's cool, John. I have an RS1 here. I have a pair of them in Great Northern. Hey, there's Mr. Trackside Mike. But yeah, that's right. I can pan east to west. But depending where I was last week, the remote control, one time it didn't get used to the equipment. I couldn't get it to hit the track. Mike, we're waiting for you to come back from work.
This is the problem. People at work. Retirement is so much nicer. I'm still getting used to it.
But this guy here is making money for our pension. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so we gotta give them a thought. And so is Sparky too. They all make work. Hey there, Stormy Sky. We're talking about you. Okay, Steve's got a Zoom meeting starting shortly. Okay, Stormy Sky, welcome. Hey, Model Train Reviews, welcome.
Battery-free keyboard, not rechargeable?
I have one of those somewhere for my other computer. To find linear on my GoPro, thank you. That Tim, this is Rayner. He's up in northern Ontario. I think John Schuylkill River posted his channel.
Yeah, look up ACHB Railway.
Yes.
In case you're trying to figure out where that name came from, it stands for All Curves and Hard Bends Railway, and that name came from my dad because that was what the employees used to call the Algoma Central, because the Algoma Central Railway was originally called the Algoma Central and Hudson Bay Railway.
Okay.
And then they never made it to Hudson Bay, so they dropped the Hudson Bay off the name, but it was originally called the ACNHB. And all the employees, because my dad started working there back in 56 when it still had the name, and they used to call it the All Curves and Hard Bends. So, yeah, he worked there from 56 till 95. So
they refer to the TH&B as the Tramps, Hobo, and Bums Railway.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, John. Yeah, so it's I live in Dundas, and the reason my channel name is Dundas Junction, three things. I live in Dundas, Ontario. I live on Dundas Street, and the main CN main line is the Dundas sub, Dundas Junction. And of course, the Dundas sub, there's a bridge not 5 minutes away from my house. Back in 1980, I had a van. I was visiting somebody up not too far from where we're living now, and it was stolen, and they found my van along the Dundas sub. And I posted the picture of it on as a thumbnail a few times, but that bridge, I always wondered about walking up that laneway, because I figured there's could have stuff thrown off in the ravine because they just ransacked the van. Oh yeah, John, to hell and back is right.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a picture posted of up in the north end of Hamilton, a tunnel, and there are all the graffiti and stuff on the tunnel. Forget about the graffiti. Look at the top of the tunnel. It says TH&B Railway. I saw that right away.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history in the city for TH&B, because Hat Street, which is one street over from where I am, the TH&B track ran up the center of that. And we had a CP line that ran up parallel with Governor's Road, which used to be TH&B. It's all gone too. What do you do when that other lot changed the name? Not political? I didn't do anything about it. I had no control. Hey, Randall Ellison, welcome. But, the TH&B ran up here until, I think, I'm not sure exactly when it changed hands. Tim would know more than, he's a good history guy. But CP took over TH&B, and they immediately converted all what's left of the GP9, GP7s to chop nose locomotives, and the rest eventually got scrapped. I think some went out west. I know the TH&B had a business car, and that business car, I believe, is now the Christmas train passenger car. I'm understanding that is the car still on the track, but they only use it for so much time of the year.
Yeah. I remember the ACR, they had a business car. I have no idea where it ended up after the Wisconsin Central takeover and then CN taking over. But they had one business car called the Agawa, and it had these cool kind of curved top windows. And when they rebuilt the car back in the early 70s,
Yeah.
my dad got some of the original windows out of it and used them as garage windows when he built a new garage on our house.
Okay.
So my dad brought bits of the railroad home all the time. He brought the windows some of the windows out of the Agawa for our garage windows. He used coach windows on another garage he built later on. And yeah, so we had lots of pieces of
Thanks,
trains
Tim.
in our house.
So TGB was emerged in 1987.
Okay.
So Tim is our history buff. He's the guy who knows history of trains. If you have a question about history of the trains, ask him. He'll probably have the answer for us. Tim lives down in New York State.
Okay.
But yeah, so but I did go to see our buddy Sparky, and I purchased from him some of his collection. And I came home with two though. One's a bonus. And I don't have one. My goal is to have at least one locomotive of every railroad in North America. I'm going to bring the cameras over here. I have a camera that I can swing around. Thanks to my buddy Sparky, he gave me this extension cable so I can move my camera around. And that is my friend Leo. That's right. We used to go down to the CN station every year. When my uncle worked for the CN for Newfoundland, every year we would go down to the CN station. And I'm going to change this camera to the other one. You can see it partly there, but 922. Well, that's not the one. Yeah, that's right. Let's see if I can angle it down a bit. There. That's not too bad. But this is from Sparky's collection. And I actually ran this locomotive on Sparky's layout. And I think Dwight should know what it is, but this is BNSF locomotive. It is an SD 75M. Move the box on our way. Kick it over there. So this is pretty cool. And we can run it up to it's just the kind of noise Mikey likes. Oh, thanks, Randall. It's a pretty impressive locomotive, I tell you. I like it anyhow. Yeah, Dwight, the great pumpkin rises. Yes, sir. You know I like my pumpkins. It's dirty stuff. Tell you, trains can find dirty spots in the track. Hey, Fostoria, Ohio Model Railroad, welcome. We can run this around the layout. Turn this camera around.
So if you can see on mine right there, that my train's just heading into the helix there. I just sent one into there.
Okay.
And it'll be a little while before it comes out the top.
Okay, I'm just going to turn this camera up that way. You can see the other side of the layout. It's going to come out. That's my elevated section. So I made the elevated section for one reason, so I can have the main track higher than the yard. And I found a dirty spot in the track.
Yeah, I have one helix there going up. There's actually another one that's two helixes stacked on top of each other. So the one goes down, two loops down to my lower staging, and then there's another helix that goes up to my upper deck.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many loops it is that goes around, but it's getting up there. And then it goes after it comes out, it goes across the duck under here in front of me, but can't see that on camera. So
I get it moving so I can bypass the dirt spot on the track. That gets loud. As Sparky would say, push 8, push 8. But it is a nice running locomotive, I tell you. It's Ather and Genesis. Found another dead spot.
And it just came out of the top of the helix now. So it takes a while.
But yeah. I guess I need to clean my track.
Yeah, I did that today.
I didn't do that today at all. I was doing some other things. I was spending time with my wife too this afternoon for a bit. I'll give it some speed and I'll get momentum. I don't like my crossover. Yeah, I think so, Sparky. And of course, my track is needs a bit of cleaning too. But I cranked up a little bit.
Yeah, M&M rails there. Yeah, I have staging down. Let me see, which one camera is it pointing at right now? If I look over there, where you see that camera on the tripod, underneath on the kind of the middle down there, there's some lower staging. And then right above my duck under here, right above my desk, is my upper staging. It's only 3 tracks up at the top. The other one is 5. I think it's 5 tracks down at the bottom. But it gives my train some place to go at the end of it all.
Oh, that's good. No, I really like your helix.
It works. I mean, some people were telling me it's too tight and it's too steep, but you know what? it works. I mean, the train that I'm currently running, I've got two Kato, however you want to call them, SD40s on it. I tried it with
Okay.
one, and it was, with the length of train I had on there, it was kind of spinning its wheels, but with two, no problem.
Well, Mark had a slug for a couple hours. So I'm not sure if he's keeping it until Chris gets back or not, but he did have a slug. Okay, this. Yeah, I didn't watch it today. I was watching other stuff. I watched Rayner's channel, and I watched Jim Tedesco did a video today. I watched that, and I was running trains.
Well, there's another train going by.
Okay, Mark. I guess he's got to come get it. I guess you got your wish anyhow. Look at the money you saved. You got it for free. $1,000. That's what I do. 1,000. I'm running this 75 amp notch on my throttle at 71. So if you don't know, Rayner, Leo was here at my layout last.
Yeah, I caught some of that last week. Yeah.
Yeah, so he had a good time here running trains. So now that one's running a bit. So I got 2 locomotives from Sparky. This one here was a bonus. I was testing him out, and I saw it. You can't sell that one. Big F sales. October the 6th at Bingman Park in Kitchener, the train show. Sparky will be there selling some of his locomotives. So if you're in the area of that Bingman Park, check him out. He will be running a train there. They're selling trains. So I'll turn this around to here. So this is a Walters main line and SD50. Norfolk and Southern. I do not have one of these at all on my layer. Well, I do now. Put them down there. That's a beauty. Yeah, check them out. October the 6th, Bingman Park. It's off of Highway 7 in Kitchener. Mark, you haven't seen Sparky's train room up close. And I took 2 of them out of his way. Leo's got 5. Well, you got the 5 part right. Kitchener, Mark. Highway 7, Bingman Park. There you go, Mark. A dash 8 from Rapido. You got 2 weeks to think about it. What are you doing now, Rayner? Oh, yeah.
I just sent my train through my little turnaround loop in the mountain right there.
Oh, okay. Now, how big is your turnaround loop? What radius is that?
It's stacked right up on top of the helix, exactly the same radius.
Oh, okay.
It goes over that curved trestle over there that I built and stuff. So, yeah.
What road is that caboose? Robin's got a question about your caboose lantern.
That lantern that's in here, like my dad brought that home from the ACR.
Okay.
Everything I have here, my dad brought home from the ACR.
Okay.
He liked to do that.
Yeah. So in my collection at THB, I have all the diesels that THB had. All of them. So you have 7 GP7s, 3 GP9s, 4 NW2s, and 4 SW7s. Hey, welcome, GRE 257. Yeah, Mark, it's at the Bingman Park, Kitchener, Ontario, off Highway 7. So you know where Highway 7 is. Just head down the highway to it and take it all the way. Slow drive, but you'll get there.
Yeah, the Ogama Central, right? I used to ride that all the time as a kid for free because my dad worked for them from 56 to 95. So, yeah, I took the tour train, but I also took the train up farther north and all that fun stuff. There's not much happening there now because the steel mill they shut down the mines that used to feed Algoma Steel. St. Mary's paper is gone in the Sioux, so they don't haul much pulp down to the Sioux anymore. And the tour train only runs from August through October. It's being run by Watco, I think, owns it now, and they're running it and calling it the Agua Canyon Railroad.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I know I worked at Duke Electric, and we did do some service work at Algoma Steel.
Yeah. Algoma Steel is going okay, but they're not the Helen mines and stuff like that up north. Those have all been shut down. So ACR is no longer the iron ore supplier for.
There used to be a barge called the St. Mary's 2, and we used to service that barge. It was powered by bow thrusters. We used to fix the bow thrusters and the motors they used to help load the hole. That was a big job for us when they came into port in the winter. So Robin collects cabooses. I have a few cabooses. I have some TGB. I have some CP, CN, ONR. I got a few of those. I have Great Northern. I got a few, but not a lot as Robin does. Well, Mark's on a quest to buy more cabooses.
That's a lot of cabooses.
Well, Mark, hop on your car and come to Otter Valley Railroad on Saturday. You can help Lauren shop. Yes, it's a beauty. Like Sparky was running this on his layout on Sunday, and it didn't stay with Sparky. It's here. I'll run it in a bit. I want to see what. There's a bit of dirty track here.
You better do some track cleaning there.
Yeah, I'll do that next. I'll do it maybe tomorrow.
I was saying to James at the beginning, I took one of my little old Tyco switchers that's really picky and doesn't run very smoothly, and switched my whole thing to DC today, and took everything else off the tracks and ran that all over the tracks. And everywhere that it stopped, I went and figured out what was wrong with it and cleaned it and dealt with it. It was a good way to check the tracks.
Yeah. Okay, John. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it very much. You have a good night. And it's his birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, John. My birthday is in October, 4 weeks from today. I'll be 90. I think. Maybe not. There you go. Huggies all around. Sparky's heading down to Titonium down in I think it's in Maryland. Okay, GRE. I have a Marks train. It's AC powered, but it doesn't run too well no more. Someday I'll take it apart and clean it, but I don't have a space to set it up right now. Well, that's important, John.
Yeah, 124 cabooses. I wouldn't be able to fit them on my layout.
Leo's got 2 cabooses.
Yeah, well,
he's got lots.
You need more than 2, but 124. That's I don't know where I put them.
I have a display shelf up there, and from here, it's got 4 cabooses on it. I don't run the layout.
How many do I have? I see 3 there.
Yeah.
There's 2 on the trains up the top. I think I only have, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them.
Hey, BNSF, I'm running your locomotive here as it's not in scale. Well, I do have a Conrail caboose too. I have a couple of those.
You only have 8 feet of track. Well, yeah, you're not going to need a lot of cabooses for 8 feet of track.
He's got a good switching layout though.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to fit a lot of cabooses on there.
Can of geese. Okay, Todd. You want to call the van? I want to call it caboose.
Caboose, sure. Yeah, but except you don't call multiple moose meese. So there you go. Yeah, vans. That's what my dad called them all the time. They just called them the vans.
That's right. Depends who you're talking to, I guess.
Yeah.
I call them both.
I think vans is more of a Canadian railroad term.
It probably is. It's like in the UK, what we call railway ties, they call sleepers.
Yep.
What we call feeders, they use droppers. Yeah, I don't have an ACR caboose at all. But I have to, on the wish list. Well, Tim's got a good collection of rolling stock. I do have a BNSF caboose. I have the 25th anniversary caboose, and I think I have a regular one. But I know I have the 25th anniversary caboose that was put out by Atlas.
That's interesting, Todd. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Derived from UK brake van. That makes sense.
It's not a freight car. Well, in the UK, they call their rolling stock wagons, so I don't know.
Yep.
So they don't call a hopper in the UK either, I don't think. Wagon estate is pulled by horses. So I guess Mark's going to be heading down the highway to Kitchener on the weekend before Thanksgiving. Oh, okay, locomotive. That's a new word I didn't know about. Yeah, Laura, Mark wants to go shopping in Kitchener. He's got to go see Sparky. Motors, yeah, I call them locomotives. Some people call them engines in the States. I'm gonna kill this sound. 665. There we go. Killed the sound. Okay, Grandpa Rails, thanks for popping in. I appreciate it very much.
Does he have a dog or not, Sparky?
I'm not sure.
Sparky says you don't have a dog at Grandpa Rails. So is that true?
I can. I'll put this locomotive on the other track because I switched over my crossover track.
So James, thanks for asking me to be here. I've been doing stuff in my training room and contemplating whether I would do a live stream at some point. So this was a good time for me to check out my cameras and test how everything's working.
Well, yeah. Well, we like inviting people because people get to meet another modeler and we get to show off your work and your channel.
Yeah.
Get you more subscribers. And please, if you have not subscribed to Rainer's channel, please subscribe to him. He's got a lot of how-to videos, how he does things. It'll help a lot of people out there. So please like and subscribe his channel. He posted a new video today. Check him out.
I'm going to be trying to do at least a couple of videos a week. I'll see how it goes. I'm going to be gone for about 10 or 11 days in October because I've got a up north moose hunting trip happening. But other than that, I'm going to be around. So
we'll be here waiting for you.
Yeah. No, this is good. I've got cameras rigged up in here. This was a good chance for me to test out, see how all of this is going to work.
Yes, I'm curious. I've been playing around with cameras too. I can work 3 cameras on my layout, but I can't run them all together. But I do have a go around, and I can feed a signal to my tablet.
What's going on here?
There, kill the sound. But I can feed share the link to my tablet and use that as a guest. And I'll point the camera at the other side of the layout and you see things.
Yep.
But yeah. And one thing I found about I use TCS Wi-Fi throttles. I have a pair of them. But they like to time out if they're not being used for a while. So you got to reset them because the train will stop.
Yeah, mine is just a simple, I'm just using an NCE.
Yeah, well, that's what we did. When I bought my system before, I could not get wireless NC in Canada.
Yeah.
So I bought the 5-amp system, and I used it and I still got it. And a few years ago, they came out with a Wi-Fi interface that was designed to work with NCE. And you can control it with your tablet. Well, TCS made a universal Wi-Fi throttle that worked with that interface and NCE. And I got a good deal on the 2 that I got through our hobby store because at the time I couldn't find a dealer in North America that would handle TCS. And the one hobby store brought a couple in, but the time we got them here, the pricing was too expensive. and he wasn't going to carry no more, so he decided to dump them. And I got the first one at his cost, and the second one I got half price because he just wanted to get rid of it.
So you were the only one that got them
in Canada, yes. But now there's another YouTuber. It's actually a subscriber of mine. Train Logistics. Darren is his name. He is a TCS dealer.
Okay.
And I'm going to look into getting the UWT 100, which is an upcharge, an upstep on the throttle. But you can get the Wi-Fi interface to run with your system.
Okay.
From Kingston Locomotive Works in Kingston, Ontario.
Oh yeah, I looked at their website. I haven't been. I think I ordered something from them. I can't remember what it was a while ago.
It's $140 to get the interface, and it goes into a spot of your NCE faceplate.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Sparky. Canadian Locomotive Logistics. Okay. He's the dealer for TCS. So if you ordered the Wi-Fi interface from Kingston, you pop it in, you can control your trains with your tablet.
The reality is, my room, once I look at my bench work at that end and bench work at that end in a 16
You're so close,
room,
I know, yes.
Yeah, I'm down to what, 12 feet this way and 4.5 feet going the other way. So I've got wired things and I can reach everything. This is my DCC one, and then I just have one of these old MRCs for my DC.
Right.
And, they reach everywhere. So
I just because I'm putting manual cabooses on all the turnouts on the yard, I need to be close to operate the yard.
Yeah.
So a wireless controller does help you for that purpose. I'm not going to put switch machines. I only put switch machines on part of the main line, and that's it. But the rest of them are all ground throws. Hey, Mr. Scott Rails, welcome. He just got back from out west.
Scott,
yes.
How are you? Dave, how are you?
So, yes. But everybody has to do their thing the way they want. And I just decided I like the wireless control because my leg's a little bit bigger, so I have more distance. I want to be on top of the trains. Hey, Willow Creek, welcome. I didn't see you earlier. Welcome to the chat. But yeah, but I think every day you get to your late, okay, Sparky, you have a good night. Thank you very much. And we'll be talking to you after you come back from your trip to the States. I'll be leaving October the 5th for the Kingston area. And but I think we'll shut down anyhow so we can spend time with my wife. I promise.
Yeah.
I don't want it. There's another live stream starting around 8 o'clock right now too. So we'll give him a shot at, I think Waycross is having a live stream. So yes, Tim, I really love wireless. I have to admit it. But when I bought my system way back when, I could not buy the wireless NCE system. If it was available back then, I would have bought it. No, hands down. I believe in cordless tools. I worked for an electrical company, and I believe 100% in cordless tools. I want to get a cordless vacuum for the lid. I don't want the cord. I do not like corded tools at all. It's not very efficient in production. Because I was the lead hand, foreman, shop coordinator.
Todd,
okay, GRE. And speaking of live streams, Third Rail Thursday, GBO After Dark. It's on my channel, 8 o'clock Thursday. Mark M&N Rails will join us. Chris is MIA. He is in Vegas trying to win money for more trains. So while he's down there, we can talk about Chris. Any question you want to know about Chris, you can fire him up. Bank him up. You all, everybody, have a good night. I want to thank Rainer for joining us tonight.
Thank you, James.
Check out his channel. give him the love he needs to boost his numbers up.
Thank you. Thanks,
And
everybody.
we'll have a good night. Good night,
Yep.
everybody. Thanks for dropping in and joining us tonight. Running Trains.
Yep.
Yes, Mark, we should be good. I got a surprise for Chris. He might not like me no more. I bought it today. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Todd.
Have a good one.